Rabbi Karen, and we are beginning our Tuesday Maariv service. I'm so glad you can join us. I hope everybody's well. I hope everyone's happy. We were just chatting about spread of COVID all over, so I hope you're all well. I hope you're all healthy. Chat with me. We're on Facebook. We're on JSLI page, Rabbi Stephen Blaine, UJUC, Sim Shalom page. We are on YouTube, and we are also on simshalom.com. So we're just all over. You can't get away from us, and we love being with you. So please join us for our Tuesday Maariv service. Let's share the screen. Okay, and let's play from the start. All right, our Tuesday Maariv service. Hine matovu manayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matovu manayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matov shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matov shevet achim gam yachad. Our call to praise. Baruch hu et Adonai hamavorach. Baruch Adonai hamavorach li'olam va'ed. Praise Adonai, to whom our praise is due forever. Praise be Adonai, to whom praise is due now and forever. And now, when we think of Adonai's actual blessings, the physical blessings that it gives to us, I think of sunrise and sunset, the manifestation of separating light from dark and dark from light. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bivaro ma'ariv avravim, bechokma potech she'arim, uvitvuna meshana etim, umachalif et hazmanim, umsader et kochavim b'mishmurotei barakia kirtzono. You abound in blessings, eternal one, our God, sovereign of all time and space, whose word brings on twilight. With wisdom you open gateways, with understanding you alter times. Vary the seasons and assign the stars to their watches in the sky. Creator of day and night, who rolls light away from darkness and darkness from light, you cause day to pass and bring about night, distinguishing between day and night. Boreyom v'layla golel or mipnei choshek v'choshek mipnei or. Umavir yomu mevi laila, umavdil ben yomu ben laila, Adonai tzivot shemo, el chai v'kayam, tamid yimloch aleinu li'olam va'ed, baruch atah Adonai, ha'ma'ariv aravim. O living in an ever-enduring God, reign over us forever and ever. Blessed are you, eternal one, who brings on twilight. Everlasting love you offer your people Israel by teaching us Torah and mitzvot, laws and precepts. Therefore, Adonai, our God, when we lie down and when we rise up, we will meditate on your laws and your commandments. We will rejoice in your Torah forever. Day and night, we will reflect on them, for they are our life, and doing them lengthens our days. Never remove your love from us. Praise to you, Adonai, who loves your people Israel. Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael. And now, the prayer that is not a prayer, but it's a statement, our creed, the Shema. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God, the Lord is one. Baruch Shem Kivod Malchuto, Le'olam va'ed. Blessed be the name of his glorious kingdom, forever and ever. V'ahavta, and you shall love. V'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha, v'chol levavcha, v'chol nafshecha, v'chol meodecha. V'hayu hadvarim ha'ele, asher anochi mitzavcha hayom al levavecha. V'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam, v'shivtecha b'veitecha, uvleftecha v'aderech. Ushopahov kumecha, ushartam lo dayadecha v'hayula totefo beinenecha, uftavtam al muzopitecha v'sharecha, L'man tizkaru v'asitem et kol mitzvotai v'tem kedoshim le'Elohehem. Ani Adonai Elohechem. Asher chotzeti ethem me'eretz Mitzrayim liot lachem le'Elohim. Ani Adonai Elohechem. And as the women went through Adonai's miracle of the parting of the Red Sea, they sang, Mi chamocha balim Adonai, mi kamocha, nedar b'kodesh norah tehilot oseh felet. Who is like you, O God, amongst the gods that are worshipped, who is like you, majestic in holiness, awesome in splendor, working wonders. Your children witnessed your sovereignty, the sea splitting before Moses and Miriam. This is our God, they cried, Adonai will reign forever and ever. Thus it is said, Adonai redeemed Jacob from a hand stronger than his own. Praise to you, Adonai, for redeeming Israel. Baruch atah Adonai, Ga'al Yisrael. Hashivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom, v'achamirenu malkeinu l'chayim, u'v'rasha aleinu sukat shalomecha. Adonai, bless us. Watch over us. Please bless those who have been stricken with this disease. Please bless those who have been stricken by natural disasters, by the evil created by others. And please watch over those in the Ukraine, watch over all of our troops throughout the world. Please, Adonai, please keep us safe, make us a lamp unto all nations. Please bless those who are there to protect us, guard us, and guide us. Shield us and remove from our path all hostility, disease, war, famine, and sorrow. Shelter us in the shadow of your wings, for you are a protecting and saving power. Truly a sovereign power, gracious and compassionate are you. Guard our going and our coming in life and in peace now and for all eternity. Spread us over your shelter of peace. Baruch atah Adonai haporesh sukat shalom aleinu v'al kol amo Yisrael v'al Yerushalayim. Blessed are you, Eternal One, who spread your shelter of peace over us, over all your people Israel, and over Jerusalem. Yitgadal v'yitgadal shemei rabba v'yamad yivrach yirutei v'yamlich mahutei b'chayechon uvyomechon uv'chayedecho beit Yisrael bagala bagala uvizman kariv v'yimeru amen. Yesh me rabba mevorach v'yalam li'amei amaya yitbarach Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yipar v'yiraman v'yidaseh v'yitadar v'yitalei v'yitalal shmei kudusha b'richu leila micha b'chata v'shirata tush b'chata v'nechemata damiram v'yalma v'yimeru. Amen. Okay, just looking at the chat here for a moment. Let's check the chat in our restream. Beth, Shalom, Albert, it's good to see you. Shalom. Sharon, good evening, Erev Tov, and Shalom to you too. All right, let's go back. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, v'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, v'Elohei Leah. Ha'el ha'gadol ha'gibur v'hanara, El Elyon. Gomer chasadim tovim v'konei ha'kol, v'zocher chasdei avot v'imot, u'mevii gula livnei v'nehem l'man shemo ba'ahava. Melech ozer u'Moshiach u'magen, Baruch atah Adonai. Again, Abraham, Bezrat Sarah. Adonai, remember the promises you made to our ancestors. Please keep those promises and guard over us and watch over us. Atagi bo le'olam Adonai, mechayeh hakol atarav lahoshia, mechakeh ha'im bechesed, mechayeh hakol berachamim rabbi. So no flim verofe cholim umatir asurim umchayim emunato lishene afaha michamocha bal gevurot umido melach melech memid umchayim umatzmiach Yeshua v'nemanata lahayot hakol. Baruch atah Adonai mechayeh hakol. Adonai, you are all the strength we will ever need. You can bring life to the living. And you You are all that we will need. You are our only strength. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let me put up the chat. This week's Torah portion is Vayechel. Moses returned from Mount Sinai with 2 tablets that he had written. He received forgiveness for the Jewish people. Remember the whole little problem we had with the golden calf. Moses speaks of how God desires the sanctuary to be built. He also repeats how Shabbat should be observed. And again, we're reminded of how the tabernacle and garments were to be made. We learn of the men and women who stepped up to donate all that was required in skills and in service. Women and Bezalel, son of Uri, son of of the tribe of Yehuda, were named to specific tasks in building the tabernacle. More than enough supplies were given, and Moses had to demand cessation of the donations. There was too much. The tabernacle was created with curtains for the entrance, separation from the Holy of Holies, from the sanctuary, the ark, and the showbread table. This might appear to be a repetition of last week's parsha, but in truth, we have evidence of God's attribute of going forward. Past readings gave us details of the building of the Mishkan. The Jewish people sinned by building that calf, and today we read again of the building of the tabernacle. Holy to sinned to holy. God goes forward and includes everyone. As Moses gathers the community to speak about Shabbat observances, he talks to the men and women. The community is asked to donate the materials needed to build the tabernacle. As we read that God specifically mentions the road of women in the building of it. Men and women would make an offering of gold, bringing rings, bracelets, earrings, and buckles. The Hebrews say men came after women to bring the donations. Rashi said men came with their wives. Nachmanides said men followed women's examples and donated jewelry after the women had done so. Sephorno said that it meant the husbands accompanied wives who were bringing gift offerings in order to indicate their approval. The women were called to give this offering. As one rabbi said about Bezalel, who, by the way, there's an art school named after him in Israel, Bezalel. God has called him and filled him with God's spirit, wisdom, intuition, awesome, and craft. When God calls you by name, it may be for a mission that is, perhaps, a bit more humble. The women were not called by name, but as a group. They too had a role in it. The women spun with their hands, and all the women who excelled in that skill spun the goat's hair. The value of women was emphasized, yet the prevailing attitude toward women was accentuated by Rabbi Eliezer, who said, anyone who teaches their daughter Torah, it's as if he taught her to flute. Rashi says this means immorality. Rambam says it means triviality. But Rashi and Rambam disagree with Rabbi Eliezer. The struggle was symbolized in the movie Yentl, a young woman who was taught Torah by her father. After his death, she wished to continue her studies, but could only do so disguised as a man. Wasn't that a great movie? This was the prevailing attitude towards women for centuries and continues today by certain sects. Yet Rabbi Menachem Schneerson wrote, Torah law requires women to study all the laws and concepts necessary to observe commandments, which she is obligated to fulfill. So only study what women are obligated to fulfill. Bazel made the basin of copper, in which when priests would enter the tent or serve at the altar would purify themselves by washing their hands and feet. This was made from the mirrors of women who performed tasks at the entrance of the tent of meeting. Mirrors were of polished copper. According to the women's Torah commentary, they were women of means who renounced personal vanity for Adonai. Rashi explained the importance of the mirrors offered by the women in this midrash. Moses first rejected the mirror, angry that objects associated with vanity and the evil inclination would be used in constructing something holy. But God told Moses to accept the mirrors because the Israelite women had used them for the most holy purpose during their enslavement. You'll love this one. When Pharaoh decreed that the men could not return home from the fields at the end of the day, the women went out to the fields, bringing their husbands food and drink. After their husbands had eaten, each woman pulled out her mirror, held it up to catch the image of her husband's face together with her own. I guess it's like a selfie. I am more beautiful than you, she flirted with him. In this way, Adonai explained, the women asked desire in their exhausted husbands and ensured the Israelites a future generation of children. Not exactly recognition of intellect and talents, but still noted for a contribution. As we've read in the beginning of the Parsha, Adonai went forward. We sinned, we were forgiven, and Adonai went forward. We as a society emulate what Adonai has showed us to do. We have had women run for president. We have a woman vice president, Supreme Court justices, and women who work in government. Women in the U.S. Armed Forces can serve in the front line. The fight for equal pay continues. In Israel, women serve in the military and have top positions at Knesset. Who can forget Golda? And yet, despite all that women have accomplished and what Rashi, Rambam, and Rabbi Schneerson write, women could still not read Torah on the wall at the Western Wall, Hakotel. The leaders of the Women of the Wall movement have been repeatedly heckled, have eggs and feces thrown at them, threatened with violence, have been arrested for their desire to reach Torah. The gender-neutral section that was supposed to be built at Robinson's Arch has been put on hold. And that also brought criticism from the ultra-conservative archaeologists and the Palestinian Authority. But even some women are decrying this as degrading. Professor Aviad HaKohen, the Dean of Academic Center of Law and Science, said, separate but equal is not equal. Going forward has been a course in baby steps, sometimes going backwards. God's model needs to show us that those who want to take us backwards, that we need to keep going forward. All right. An all women's congregation, very nice. All right. Ziona, that's cool about your friend's grandson. All right, so now let us take a moment to listen to the prayers in our hearts and in our minds. Say shalom b'rumav, uyase shalom aleinu, ve'akol Yisrael, ve'imru, amen. And now our prayer for healing. So I will stop share, and you could type in names of those people. I want to start with Sid and Joyce Becker, Katie, and Luna Marcello. I also want to say Lauren Wall and the numerous people who in my community are now dealing with COVID, and for all those who have to deal with this and all dreaded diseases. Valerie, Erin, Maddie, Troy, Amy, Tamara, Beth, her father, Malcolm, Mayo, Roxy, Rose, Albert, and our loving pets, Georgia and Fred Markowitz, Dorothy, Mark, Marlene, Carol, Sarah, Jean, Rabbi Goldstein, Leah, Wackneen, Diane Fishman, Richard Kutnick, Alexandra Bat Aurora, Marlene Bat Chaya, Ziona, and Paula. Ziona, you okay? Ziona Bat Chava.
She lost her dog, Rabbi.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Shelley. Yeah.
I'm so sorry. I really am. Thomas David Ben Catherine, Aryeh Ben Chava, Vi Harris, Clarice Bow, survivors of violence and all those of COVID. Let me continue on. Steve, Jim, Stanley, Shirley, and Beverly. I think we got all those suffering emotionally and physically. David Walkning, Beth, Amy, Marvin, Tamara. Oh, I'm so sorry, Ziona. I know that. Tim, Paul, Taylor, Joy's dad. All right, I think we've got it. So let's continue on. Mishe beirach avotenu v'chol habraha limotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Mishe beirach imotenu v'chol habraha le'avotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen. Aleinu l'shabeach ladon hakol, latet gdula liotze bereshit, shelo asanu kikoye haratzot, v'lo samanu kimishpachot hadama, shelo sam helkenu kahem, v'gor aleinu kechol hamanam, panachnu korim, u'mishtachavim u'modim, lifnei melech mochei hamlochim, hakadosh baruch hu. V'ne'eman v'haya Adonai lemelech al kol excuse me, Vayom hahu yeh Adonai echad u'shmo echad. It's difficult to do service when you get the hiccups. We recall the loved ones whom death has recently taken from us, those who died in the season in years past, those whom we have taken into our hearts with our own. The memories of all of them are with us. Our griefs and sympathies are mingled as we praise Adonai and pray for the coming of Adonai's kingdom. And you could type their names if you are observing a yurt site, someone who passed recently, into chat. You can say it, keep it close to your heart and your thoughts as we read the Mourner's Kaddish. Yikadavi, and I want to say Stacy Patel. Yikadavi Yikadash Shemei Rabbah, Biamadi Rachimute Viamlich Machute, Bechayechon of Yomechon, Ufchaye de Chobed Yisrael, Bagalavas Mankari, Vimro Amen. Yehesh Me Rabbah Mevorach Le'elam Ol Me Al Maya, Yitbarach V'yishtabach V'yibar V'yiroman V'yinaseh, V'yitadar V'yitaleh V'yitalal, Shmei Kudusha B'rechu, Le'elam Michal Bechata V'shivata, Tush B'chata V'nechamata, Damiram V'yalma V'yimru Amen. Yehesh Lama Rabbah Mishamaya, V'chayim Aleinu V'yakol Yisrael V'yimru Amen. Oseh Shalom B'mrumav, Huya Oseh Shalom Aleinu V'yakol Yisrael V'yimru Amen. And may all those who are in mourning be comforted by the one who comforts all. Well, I thank you for being with me today for this evening, and it's been a pleasure, and I ask you again to remain safe, healthy, happy, and special prayers, Ziona. My heart is with you. And just everybody, just stay well and, keep in touch. We're here Monday through Friday. Rabbi Nancy, Rabbi Deborah, Rabbi Galit, myself, Rabbi Steve, Rabbi Judy Subson occasionally. And, we have our JSLI class, our rabbinic class, our cantorial class, our JSLI pre-rabbinic course. So just stay well, everybody. Be good, be safe. Thank you.
Toda Rabah. Rabbi,
Bye-bye.
keep well.